What's up, everybody? Another day of push and record and talking to y'all, and coming to you live from the car. And today we're talking about how the job market has changed, and specifically, I feel like a lot of young men are dealing with the brunt of it. And it's kind of crazy because, like, I've been through the motions of being laid off from a job and then looking for a job and finding a job probably in untraditional ways, and now, you know, being in one. And I know a lot of people are in different parts. Maybe they're at an old job right now, wondering if they should leave for a better job, better paying job, or maybe they just got laid off and they're finding it really hard to find a job and kind of don't know where to start because, you know, they were making a certain amount in their previous job. There's so many factors of the job market right now, and I feel like I kind of wanted to talk about it because you know, I know a lot of you are probably out there right now that have been laid off or just have found it really hard to find a new job. And I think one of the things, like, I was going through when I got laid off and I was looking for another job was realizing that because I'd stayed in my position for so long and moved into different, like, got promoted and all this stuff, that kind of comes with, like, salary increases. And it got me to a really good place with my salary where I was making pretty good money, you know, at my age and stuff. So that was one of the hardest parts of getting laid off, and probably one of the reasons why I was laid off. I was just an expensive employee to have. And so, you know, one of the things I had to come to terms with when looking for another job was, like, I might have to take a pay cut. And I think that's one of the things that people don't realize soon enough after, you know, maybe getting laid off from a job. They're expecting to have to make the same amount because that's what their cost of living has been, like, used to, and all that. And it's just not realistic. Like, those prices of salaries that we were getting at a high price were probably very inflated due to people, you know, jumping from job to job, a lot of new tech jobs that were out there. So they got inflated. Like, people were making six figures for jobs that, you know, probably weren't worth that much. Now, I don't think my job was like that, but I think just, you know, when companies are looking at like teams and divisions, like, they'll just cut off a whole limb, and, you know, sometimes you might just fall into that group. So it's not personal, it's literally just business, what they say. But so that created a thing where people it was the term, what was it, quiet quitting. So you might be in a job and you're, like, looking for another job, and you're kind of not doing everything that you could be doing in your current job, but doing enough to, you know, stay there. The new term that people are talking about with jobs is this term called I think it's like job hugging, and essentially that's just like people are holding on to their jobs for dear life right now because of how hard it is to find a job. You know, they have, like, these unemployment rates and stuff, which I feel like are completely bogus. They'll tell you it's fine, and we all know it's not. So I think it's like a gut feeling more than anything. But, you know, you don't want to shake up things by doing too much at your current position. Also, people figure, like, staying in a job longer might make you have a little bit more security than we once thought, because if you go into a new job, a new role, you might be one of the first people they cut if they're going to lay off people just because you haven't been there long. So it's kind of the opposite of people talking about how being loyal to a company is not important anymore because they'll just let you go whenever. That's still the case, but it's also the case where, you know, you might be in a position long enough where they just don't want to train new people. So they'll keep you on because you do your job and stuff. So there might be some benefit of staying with a job a little longer than just trying to flip every time. And I think people have seen the negative outcome of job hopping. I think it's kind of leveled out. You know, obviously it's a great way to make more in your income and stuff, but I think companies have kind of gotten hip to that game too. So I think all companies are kind of like bringing down the level of salaries to lower than they were, but still expecting high producers in those roles. So people like me that do a great job might be making a little less, but they're the ones that might get the job over other people that just were more expendable and just don't get the job done and just, are bad workers. So I think right now what you need to be focused on is learning a bunch of skills that make you a good worker in pretty much any job you're at. So that means you have to be good at time management. You have to that means being off your phone, knowing that you need to do focused work. At least 1 to 2 hours of good focused work at work will get you a long way. And most people just don't do that. And then also just staying sharp, putting yourself out there, always looking around to see what you could become, what roles are outside of what you think you could be, and learning some really good skills that could be great for multiple roles. And I think that's a lot of what's going on today. It's definitely going to be hard looking for a job because there's just not a lot of them out there. A lot of people are looking for them, but I think what would also help is learning how to make resumes in today's age. Forgetting all the old school rules and learning how to use AI, or learning how to get past the ATS systems for that jobs are using to find applicants and stuff. Those are things you need to be doing to kind of break the system. But it might be also going back to the old school way of looking for jobs, and might be hoofing it into a physical building and being I want to work here. Here's my resume. Here's a headshot. Is there someone I could speak to? Are you hiring? Looking for the companies that you'd want to work with and figuring out ways to get in there. So hopefully these tips kind of helped with, the ever-changing job landscape and the market. I kind of just wanted to tap in today because I think it's important. I think a lot of people talk about their jobs, and it doesn't have to be your whole life, but find something that fits in your life that you can use to, build more things in your life, and something that you're not miserable going to. I had a half day today at work because I just went to go do my final walkthrough for my wedding venue, and I'm excited to get into work and do some things today because I like where I work. So I hope you guys can find that as well. And that's all I got for today. My name is Sai. I'm an actor, creative director, and daily YouTuber, and I help creatives like yourself take what you love and turn it into something real and build a life that actually works. So if you found value in this video, give it a thumbs up. If this type of content resonates with you, I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel and join the community. We're doing a lot of great stuff. And in the description, I got some great books that help me get to the point I'm at right now. And I'm actually going to feature a book in the description. It's called Rejection Proof, and it's a really fun book about dealing with rejection and how you can overcome that. And it's a fun read, and I definitely recommend you checking it out. So the link for Rejection Proof, the book, is in the description. Check that out, along with some other great books that I think will bring a lot of value to your life. And also in the comments below, let me know what you think. How is it in the job market for you right now? Are you finding it difficult to find one? What are your stresses with the job hunt? I would love to hear about that stuff. What tips do you have to help in the comments? Also join the free school community we created, Creative Momentum. It's where we can go in there and talk to each other, keep each other motivated about starting a new YouTube, starting investing, starting your creative journey, starting anything, your life self-growth. We're doing that in there, so check that out. And also YouTube is popping up these videos on your screen right here, suggesting you're gonna really like them, and I know you will. So check those out. All right, guys. You're not behind. You're just getting started. So let's build this life on purpose. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.